And we're now back on the start line for the first AV semi-final of the Varsity 8s, and I think we're going to see another upset. Are we going to see another upset today? My gut feeling is yes, actually.
An upset? Well, we'll see about that. I mean, it's going to be everything on the line in these semifinals. You know, you take a look at these draws from yesterday, and you're just, my jaw hit the floor, because it's like, how is this just a semi? I think either of these semis could just as well be a grand final.
That's absolutely correct.
And these guys are all going to know that. I hope they can appreciate the quality of the competition they're about to experience as they're sitting up there on the line. Because this is it. This is what we come to do at the IRA. It's race against the absolute best, and that's exactly what we're going to see right now. So in lane 1, Stanford, lane 2, Princeton, lane 3, California, your top-seeded crew in this event. Next to them, Harvard in lane 4, Northeastern in lane 5, and Syracuse in lane 6. We are underway in this first semifinal for the men's Varsity 8.
Attention go is the call, and it's an absolutely blistering start from Cal and Princeton. I mean, the start, especially in these highly competitive 8s events, you can't afford to look at any aspect of your race, and so the start has to be so rapid. Princeton and Cal just seem to have a slight lead over the others, but again, it's smaller, this position, but Princeton, the Tigers, should be very pleased with that. They're looking very sharp. They're almost bow ball ahead of Cal, but again, the question will come when we hit the rhythm, but that's a very good position to put yourself in early on. The crew from Stanford, they're just leaving themselves a little bit of work to do, but we're looking here at Frederick Brewer, the stroke of the Cal 8, himself an Olympian in the German 8 and Paris in 2024.
Yeah, well, I think we should expect to see pretty much everyone, 6 boats across, go out just about as fast as they can, just to see what they can do to hang on to this Cal crew. They posted the fastest time, well, fastest first 1,000, I should say. Not the fastest time in this men's Varsity 8, but they went 1:20 for the first 2 500s of their race yesterday, which is right on championship record speed. So tracking this Cal crew in the first 1,000, I think will set up all of these crews to have a pretty good outcome if they can manage to hold on. Right now, just the only two able to do it at the moment, Princeton and Harvard, flanking your race leaders from Cal, but this is the shot of our crew from Northeastern.
Harvard came in as the East Coast favourites here, having had a fantastic performance, a clean-up performance almost at the Eastern Sprints just a couple of weeks ago. And I know that Princeton will be looking to reverse that, as we saw with the Harvard-Princeton race, the Radcliffe-Princeton race previously. But look at that crew from Cal. Look how strong they are.
They are so strong, and you know, it was great getting to watch them do some training here on the Cooper River, because the thing that I noticed about this boat is that it just never stops running. More than just about anyone else out on the river, they just keep it running, especially when they're just out on an easy swing. The boat just never slows down, and that is just a cool thing to feel when you're out there just maximizing your speed and going toe-to-toe with someone like Harvard, who Cal has not seen yet this season. So I know a lot of people are interested in the outcome of this matchup in the semifinal between the Cal Bears and the Harvard Crimson. Harvard doing a fantastic job just to track your race leaders from Cal. Just a few seats deficit for Harvard as we're looking at this crew from Princeton now.
I think Harvard are closing the gap. We saw a slightly larger deficit earlier, and I think Harvard is just starting to chase it down. It must be a fantastic experience in that Harvard crew to just be getting close to people who came in such strong favourites. And it looks like with every stroke, they're slowly closing. As you say, at this level of competition, I expect to see the races go down to the line. But this is a good race to have for that first and second position early on. I think Harvard are going to draw level in the next few hundred metres.
Well, they may well do. You know, they posted a very fast second 500 yesterday, also just matching that 120 pace that Cal was rowing in their separate heat yesterday. And look, it's just starting to improve the deficit for Harvard. They're just about to draw level with Cal. So what we've seen from this Harvard crew that's been so successful for them over the course of the season is this third 500 speed and momentum that they're able to develop and maintain. Just about every race that we've seen them come down, and it's been so effective in that third 500. Are they going to employ that here against this very tough Cal crew? It looks like they're just about to do it.
Yes, they are. This is fantastic. As they come past us now, they're just crossing in front of the commentary box, and it is babble for babble. I couldn't put a needle between them. But this third 500 for Harvard is going to be absolutely fantastic. We should also mention that this is the progression's first 3 to final.
Oh gosh, yes, we do need to talk about that.
Third, fourth, and fifth is going to be absolutely crucial, because that will determine whether you're in with a shot of a medal tomorrow or not. And it's going to be, at the moment, it seems to be the crew
Northeastern and Princeton, and not out of it either, the crew on the outside from Stanford. Oh gosh.
This is a...
And Syracuse putting up a good battle too. It's just so tough because this exciting race in the middle of the course between these two titans, Harvard and Cal, is just captivating our attention as it's so tight between these two race leaders.
Northeastern out in lane 5 look like they're going to be at the moment sitting in that 3rd position, heading through into the joining these two in the A final.
This is Syracuse over on the far side that might just turn up as a spoiler. Where did they come from? Syracuse popping into that 3rd place position, rowing through Princeton. My, oh my, that will be a turn up if we see the Orangemen featuring in the A final of the IRA. Looking at the bottom of your screen now, Harvard have done it. They put themselves in front of California. Does California have an answer at this very late stage? They are going to run out of track with Syracuse charging now. Are they going to end up with overlap on California?
It looks like Syracuse are going to challenge California for that 2nd place, I think. Harvard is absolutely storming now. Every stroke they're opening up a little more lead. It's a really fantastic fun. Oh, and there's been a disaster.
No, California's caught a huge crab. It's a boat-stopping crab for California. They're going to have to need to get things up and running if they're going to stay in contention for the A final, because here comes Princeton.
It's an absolute
moving
disaster.
up through California. Oh my goodness, this is a huge turnaround.
Princeton have sniffed blood. They're coming through. That could see California the favourites in the B final tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, we need a picture of that as soon as we can. Harvard will take that 1st place position, capitalizing.
That was an amazing row.
Syracuse safely in 2nd. Have Cal recovered? Oh no, we don't see them.
It's the Tigers in 3rd.
Oh, wow.
Syracuse absolutely delighted. Syracuse absolutely delighted to have secured that A final position, but absolutely devastating.
Oh no, he still has his oar just the wrong way.
I told you there'd be an upset today.
You manifested that. The Cal guys are going to find your hotel room and come for you.
That is an absolute disaster.
Heartbreak for the California crew
coming in here.
Oh, you can see the heartbreak. Oh, my heart goes out to him. That is such a tough one. And you know, this is the roll of the dice that we have when the conditions are challenging like this and you're putting everything out there. You're being pushed to the line by a crew as classy as Harvard. Gosh, that's a quick time. 5:24, just sniffing that championship record, 5:21.
Absolute heartbreak for Cal. We shouldn't ignore the fact that Harvard there were leading them the whole way.
Look at this photo finish that we had for that qualification. Northeastern. Oh no,
we've seen something really special here, though, Megan. That Harvard row, the Harvard put them under so much pressure that something caved, and I think you go out as a racer to try and do that. I think.